have Steppin with Marcus. Jay, thank you so much for staying. If you guys hadn't noticed, we doing New Edition tonight, y'all. We played a little BBD, a little New Edition, got a little Johnny Gill. So you already know whose song's coming next. We ain't played him yet, so we playing a little bit of your man B Brown coming up next. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus. Jay, it's time to move on to Big Rube, and we got the Roundtable. It's time to Roundtable a couple of things, my brother. So the floor is yours. What you got?
All right, first of all, after 2 weeks ago, I feel like I need to put a disclaimer out here. Basically, the subjects that I brought up are not on purpose or anything like that. It's just stuff that Big Rube thinks about during the week, or he sees, and it makes him think about it. Hey, we could talk about that. So, if you feel some kind of way about what we talk about, that's a you problem, and you deal with that yourself.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
I mean, it is what it is.
I am a bad influence on this dude, man, for real.
Well, since we've been talking about how the relationship thing and how to prove your love to people, we're going to talk about something. We're going to prove about how much love really costs. Now, before all the women in the world get all upset, man, they spend all the money. No, it's not about that. It's not about all that. We have 3 different types of love you spend stuff on. You spend your emotions on your love, you spend your wallet, and then you spend your time. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to Toyana first. Using one of those 3 things, or all 3 if you choose, how much does your love cost?
Wow, and I'm sorry, my mouth is full with cake too. It is so good.
That's right, Joy. We got cake, girl. Don't you wish you was here, Joy?
Oh my gosh,
I'm picking on you, Joy.
I'm gonna run 2 extra miles for this cake. All right, Rube. So tell me one more time. I'm sorry.
There are 3 different ways.
Yes, to love me.
Okay. We have the Oso wallet.
Gotta have it.
We have the emotion.
Need it.
And we have the time.
I want it.
So, I asked you, how much is your love worth? How much a dude got to spend? And I'll just say one of those 3 things, not all of them, but one of those 3 things. Unless you want to go all, how much a dude got to spend? Pick one and go.
I can't pick one. I have to have a little of each.
Well, I mean, we understand that.
I have to.
So what's the most important part? Which one of those 3 is most important for you? Be real.
Time.
All right. Now, how much time does a dude need to spend on you to get your love? And you can do it by day or week or month. If you want to do minutes, hours, you can do that too. You can do it however you choose to do it. I'm just giving you options.
Wow. I'm a workaholic. This is not a fair question.
It's a very fair question. Because everybody has what they need to spend.
I want his time. And
how much? How much does he need to spend on you?
I think at least 2 weekends a month. I should be able to have my time just.
So we talking a whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So we talking
go to church. Yeah.
So we talking 5 o'clock Friday to 9 o'clock Sunday.
Yeah, and then in between I go to his house, so he comes to my house.
Well, we have to add all this up. So we're talking 24 hours on Saturday. All right. And let's say 9 o'clock, so we're talking another 19 hours. So that's already 43 hours. 43 hours. And then from 5 o'clock on Friday to midnight, that's another 7. So we're talking 50 hours times 2. So we're talking 100 hours a month for you. That's good for you. 100 hours a month a dude needs to spend on you. That's good. As far as the time part.
Time. Okay.
100 hours?
I would go for that.
All right. That's why. You can pick time, wallet, or emotion. Pick one. Tell me what he needs to spend on you.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to pick all 3, but we're talking about one right now.
Okay.
Whatever's most important, and you tell me how much it is.
And my options are time, his wallet, and my emotions.
His emotions.
His emotions. Ooh. What if I'm tied between emotions? You can't be tied.
It's one or the other. There's a 1, 2, and 3. You ranking 1, 2, and 3.
Well, you want to know what? I'm going to go with his emotions because in order to give me his emotions, he has to spend time with me.
Nah,
Yes,
I like that answer.
he does.
That's not part. That's
Anyway,
not
he's
the
We
spending
are
time
spending
with
time
you,
together.
he should
We
open
are.
his wallet.
So
Okay.
that's what I'm taking.
and you're overthinking this.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
That's
you
just
are.
my answer.
Well, how much of his emotions does he need to spend? Does he
100%.
need his whole heart, or will you take half of it, or
No,
what's going on?
Whole heart.
The whole thing. Why
So
am
if
I
he spends
looking
his
for
whole heart
half?
on you, he don't spend any heart on himself.
No, that's not so. He should be taking care of himself first and foremost.
love him first
But
and
he's in a relationship with me. You're asking me the question about me.
Correct.
Okay, so for me, if I'm going to choose his emotions, I don't want 25% of his heart. I don't want 98% of his heart.
Okay.
I need the whole.
So you need the whole heart.
88 Yeah.
All right.
The whole
Cool.
thing.
All right, and that's fine, and we're gonna talk about that later on. Marcus J,
I don't trust you,
sir.
Ruben.
you know it's your time. You've heard the question twice.
All right, well, let me just get a couple of the comments.
All right, let's get some comments
K,
in.
K White 130 says that she heard someone say the only thing they want to change in my lady life was her last name. Stop trying to ameliorate and just celebrate each other. I had to look up ameliorate before I read the.
That's my man, Keith.
That's Keith. I'm sorry, brother. That's a brother. My bad. I had to look it up. Basically, what it means: quit trying to make something that's already bad better. So once I understood what it meant, now I'm with you. He's also saying time. Joy says that we're beefing because I picked on her about us having cake up in here.
Joy. Can I just tell Joy something?
Sure.
Joy.
Did
Girl, the cake tastes as
got
good
2
as I
slices.
remember.
Did I do good?
Marcus, you the man.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You the man.
My birthday's April 9th.
Oh, there we go.
I
The
want
dating
cake.
pool
His
diva.
cake is good.
The
April
dating pool
9th.
diva says emotion because what does time and money matter if there's no emotional connection? And it's funny that she says
Very
that
good.
because that's exactly what I was going to say. The reality is I'm at a point in my life right now where, you know, it really doesn't matter about money. Like, you know, I don't care about that because I got money. And whoever I'm gonna be dealing with, which in this case is Mrs. J, she got money too, you know, and I'm not interested in fighting over it. And so if I got some and you need some, here, take it. We going out to dinner and I got it in my account, you don't, then here, take it. You know, as far as the emotional thing, I mean, you can't spend time with someone that you dig without sharing emotion. You know, so I noticed that when you were talking to SY, you tried to get her to pick one. And I disagree that you pick one because, you know, you can take the money out of it. You really can. But when we're talking about time and emotion, those two are, to me, they're interchangeable if we're talking about grown folks. We talking about grown folks and grown folks love, then those two are interchangeable because if you spend time, you're going to catch feelings. And you can't catch feelings unless you spend time.
Thank you, Marcus.
So that's how I feel about that.
Okay. Smash. Actually, no. You know, because I knew he was going to say something like that. So I'm prepared. Don't get it twisted. Now, the reason why I asked you to pick one is because what happens is in a relationship, usually there's always one part of the relationship that is faltered in those three. You know, when people break up or when people have issues, it's because one of those needs are not being fulfilled. All right. Now, the reason why I didn't want you to pick 2 out of 3 is one, Marcus brings up a good point. If you spend the time with somebody, most of the time, you should get some emotion out of it. You should be wanting to spend time with them. However, there are times where people just spend time with each other and there ain't nothing. Because maybe somebody's there for the wrong reason. Maybe he's there. He just, oh, she looks good, whatever. I'll let her hang on my arm, you know, and do whatever. Oh, he's got some money. And as long as he spend money on me, we good. So normally to lump emotion and time, yes, that does make sense. But there are times where that is not something that you lump together. Sometimes money is lumped with either one of those. Mostly time. You know? And I'm not saying everybody does it. I'm just saying that is out there. Now, me personally, of course, you need all three to have a successful relationship. You know? I'm really happy nobody picked money because, of course, that was a trap door. of course, because real talk, some people have the money situation, and then whatever, somebody who had money just got some girl engagement ring. It was like $65,000. Why would you wear something like that on your person constantly so somebody can beat you up and take it? I don't get it. But it is what it is, But it's the fact that, I guess he equated money to how much he loved her, so he spent that much money on a engagement ring. And that's how sometimes you can lump those two together. So I was just bringing out a couple different things.
Can you say I like how your voice sounds when you say Can you say it again?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow.
She's picking on you now.
I mean, it's whatever. Now,
That cake.
Joy is listening to your comment as well when you said the cake was slamming. She said you supposed to be her girl. I know a piece can be saved.
Now, Joy, you know I'm having your piece right now.
Wow.
Trying to enjoy this. It's so good.
Shout out actually to Monte Leones in Jersey City. I think I shouted them out earlier. But shout out to Monte Leones in Jersey City and Newark Avenue in Jersey City because they were so nice to me when I went in there. So just wanted to get in one more shout out. Go ahead.
All right. Now, we're done with that one. We're moving on. Everybody's face is like a little flustered here. They don't know what to think or do. So, of course, I saw something on Facebook. And basically, people questioned, not just one person, but a lot of black people questioned the amount of black people who have won Emmys recently. And, my question was, do we feel that we as black people have done solid enough work for the Emmys, one, and then two, the question was brought up, well, they don't want black people to win Emmys because we're black. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, whatever. So I'm going to throw it out there. Now, for those who don't know, the Emmys are given for spectacular work in TV. Cable TV, regular TV. Yeah. Well, no, it's not where I'm going. I mean, it is what it is, And that's going to lead to my third question. So, first of all, there only been a couple black people who've ever won an Emmy. Andre Brower being one of the last. And if you don't know who he is, he was on Homicide: Life on the Street. He was a captain. And he's on this new show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. 919 or? 99. And he was also on that show with the 50-year-old men doing stuff. I don't know. Men behaving bad. I don't know what it is. It was terrible. But beside the point, my question to you is, do we have a legitimate gripe about that? Is it legitimate that, well, there are no black people winning Emmys? Okay, fine. I can roll with that. My question to you is, do we have black people on TV who are doing a good enough job to deserve to be honored in such a way?
It's not even so much. I mean, I know your question is on black people with Emmys, but there are white people that get Emmys, and I don't feel like they did that great a job. So really, if you do well enough and you're voted to win it, then you win it. If you don't, then you don't. I don't really care either way on it. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white. If you work hard enough and you get voted to win, period, you win. If you don't, then you don't. Okay. But I guess the question more so is, I think the question is more so, do we have beef because black people aren't winning, or there's just nobody out there doing it? I mean, tell me. I don't see any big beef about it either way. I really don't.
Okay. Marcus J.
Well, I mean, we know the history of the Academy Awards and black people winning them. I'll be honest with you. I haven't really given a lot of thought to this particular question. Mostly because I don't care about the Emmys, to be honest with you. I think people like to see movies is one thing. We talk about Oscar, that's different because there's like a lot of history behind Oscars with Denzel and Halle, in this current generation, and then in Sydney and the sister from Gone with the Wind that won years ago. But like when we talk about Emmys, it's a little bit different in my opinion because people just want to see the people that's on the shows they like to watch win. And so if you're somebody that likes to watch, I don't know, Modern Family, then you might be okay with Sofia Vergara winning. If you're somebody who liked The Sopranos, then you might be okay with, Edie Falco winning. But if you like Scandal and you saw that, Kerry Washington didn't win, then you might be a little pissed, about that. So it's one of those things where, I'm not one of those people who gets caught up in individual performances. For me, it's more like, black dude is up, then I want to see him win. That's just me being supportive of another black dude because I know that we don't win stuff, like those kinds of things. So, I mean, I don't know if I directly answered your question, but that's kind of the best answer that I have for you.
Okay. All right. Toyana, what do you think?
Oh, wow. I'm kind of a purist in this group because I don't really watch a lot of television, so I don't watch a lot of television, but I will say if you're talking about the quality of work, because that's what your question was, I thought in the beginning, are we producing enough quality work to earn the Emmy?
Or at least a nomination.
Or a nomination. Y'all can boo me, you can probably blackball me today, I don't care. I'm not a Scandal chick. I haven't jumped on the Scandal kick. I don't watch the show. I know who Kerry Washington is. I love her. I like her as an actress. I thought she was great in Janko. But for me to rush home from work to, solidify and watch her show and then have, the trivia games go on and talk about it, I just don't do that. So to me, I would say I have not been even convinced to watch anything that has substance. Even the news sometimes bothers me. I don't even want to watch the news, and I like Good Morning America. So I'm kind of not the one to kind of answer that one because I'm not really for or against anything. But I will say that I don't see a lot of quality on television to nominate anybody. I'm familiar with it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, the reason why that question came up, which leads us to the next question, pretty much, I guess some people got a little uproar about black people not winning Emmys or whatever, and and it crossed my Facebook, and I was just like, well, nobody is good enough. I mean, not that, right? My personal opinion, because nobody from the game's winning anything, maybe Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God. You mean the show, the game?
Yeah,
I like the game.
Or a hoodie.
Yeah.
Win a hoodie.
Yeah, So I mean, that's why I thought
BET.
I thought it was interesting. We could talk about BET in a second. Well, no, let's talk about BET now. BET stands for Black Entertainment TV. So the other day, it's funny that y'all say that too. Triple X was on the other day. The original one, starring Vin Diesel. And I guess, Samuel L. Jackson's on it too. To me, I find it interesting that they're showing a lot of movies now that has like one black person in it, and it's not even the lead person. And I'm just kind of like, it'd be different if you were showing Triple X State of the Union, because that's Ice Cube, he's all over it. Not a very good movie, however. But at least, am I really to complain because they no longer show Baby Boy anymore?
Gosh.
I mean,
or the Wood, or the Best Man.
I mean, oh God, the Best Man. We were about to get into that.
Really?
I mean, it's just, I feel like that. I feel like.
Why did I get married though?
I know why you got married because I thought about it and
bad movie.
I still don't know why.
But I feel like that. I feel like that. My next question is, are we as black people, are we asking for not enough, or we ask for too much black entertainment to the point where it's just terrible? I mean, they can't decipher what's good, what's not, because let's just be honest, the first couple of seasons of the game that was on the CW, it was more of a comedy.
Yeah, now got serious.
Now you have this trash on called The Game, which is terrible. I can't really watch it. But then again, I can't turn to that DirecTV channel anyway, because it's terrible. I mean, what do we deserve better? And if we do deserve better, are we not asking for it? That is my question.
But I
don't think we're asking for the proper programming.
I don't know if he's really asking for it, or maybe the writers are not. Maybe there's not enough of us that have the power to write with the pen or type the skits and the comedic lines, and I think that's where we fall short. I think that behind the scenes, we will always want to be in front, but I don't see too much of us behind the scenes to do that. To produce quality show. But
it's not even just shows. I'm talking shows, movies, the whole nine. Because I will quantify that saying, well, John Singer was a pretty good director.
Oh my God!
I mean, Boys in the Hood. You can say what you want. It's had a message. It had a positive message. I'd rather them show Boys in the Hood 20 times a day than show Baby Boy ever. Because Baby Boy is a horrible movie, and I have a personal issue with Baby Boy.
Thank you.
Because people think that Tyrese is a great actor, and that dude's terrible.
With his shirt off, he is.
See, that's
not even with his shirt off.
There we go. With his shirt off.
Not even.
It's not even about his acting. It's about his shirt off.
And he does it in Transformers too, with no shirt on.
And he's just as bad. He was actually good in 3 because he didn't say anything. But beside the point, Marcus J. I mean, are we not asking for enough proper entertainment, or are we just like? F it. We're just going to take what you give.
We're dumbed down and brainwashed. And the reality is, you got people who are listening to bullshit on the radio right now when they could be listening to Ain't No How Steppin' Marcus J. talking about important stuff, talking about thought-provoking stuff, talking about funny stuff, and just basically having a good time. If I put something on my Facebook page about a missing child, ain't nobody paying attention to it. I put something on my Facebook page about the rumor that came out about Miley Cyrus being pregnant with Juicy J's baby. Rumor. But if I put that out, my wall would blow up. We got to do better by demanding what we want to see and what we want to hear. And like when Carlton Banks was with us regularly, he'll be back for those folks who just clamor to hear his great wit and satire and sly style.
I miss you, Carlton.
Well, yeah, of course, that's my brother. But when he was here, he would say that we want to hear it, so that's why they put it on.
Yep.
Where there is some truth to that, but you got to also remember that there is the dumbing down of the masses, because if you got smart people that's coming after you, then you got to get rid of the smart people, and you got to put the dummies in the front, right? You got the smart people pulling the strings of the dummies. That's the whole essence of what the 5% is all about. You got the 5% who know better. You got the 10% that's pulling the strings of the 85%. And so when you look at it like that, you understand. That's why you got people who ain't trying to see nothing important going on. That's why you got people who don't want to watch the news. That's why you got people who would much prefer to watch Baby Boy than The Butler. You know what I mean? Because they've been brainwashed to think that this is what's entertaining to them. People don't want to deal with anything that's thought-provoking. They would much prefer to watch the movie than read the book. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand what you're dealing with, like you read your rule book, that's when you can figure out how you can deal with it. Now, I guess the question is, I'm sorry, let me finish this last point. I guess the question that you're asking is, how do you deal with that? You got to show people the better way. You got to show them that, going to McDonald's ain't cool. You don't think that it's a coincidence that you can go get a freaking Happy Meal for $2, but it costs $160 to get a salad? These people know what they're doing. And we need to be smart enough to go around that and teach our people what they need to do. Toyana?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I mean, working in academia, and we have a television in the lobby, and my office, Lord forbid, is near it, that all I hear for the least of 3.5 hours is Maury. Oh, it's not your baby. And everybody's really enjoying that. Or better yet, oh, it's Jerry Springer, and he's like, oh, get on the pole, it's your turn, yay. So I don't know, but and then again, we bring back Arsenio Hall, which I'm kind of confused with that too, because Now he has a show, and I don't remember him since the age of 13. But what I'm getting at is that I think that if we were more of in the creative forces of some of the shows, including the game, because I think some of the writers left the game who was part of the comedic force of that show.
Yeah, so the white people.
Well, and the money too. All right, we put it like that. But I think that's what happened.
Hey, we'll put it out there.
You know. So.
You know, it was one season that she was up there and she gone. I mean,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, you know, the reality is we have to be the ones to drive what we consume. You know, it's not a coincidence that people like Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions got phased out for NWA and Wu-Tang Clan. This is not, you know, something that happened by accident. This was a plan, and we fell into it. And you know what I'm saying? We always seem to fall into it. See, the thing is, those of us who know better have to teach the ones who don't know better. I was talking to a brother today before I came in here, and he was telling me about a young cat that he deals with, that he mentors, and he asked him, 17 years old in 9th grade, who could barely read and can't even do simple math, where it's like counting money, and he asked the dude what he wanted to do with his life, and the dude told him that he was going to get a girlfriend, he was going to probably work at McDonald's, live in Section 8, and he going to be living it up. And the dude was dead serious. And so when you think about the aspirations of these people, you know what I mean? When there's people like us that, you know, 100 years ago, we would have been called the Talented 10. You know, if we think about how we have the influence and the power to be able to influence and teach those behind us, we got to do more. Because if you don't know no better, then you're not going to do no better. If all you know is you know, these chicks on Basketball Wives throwing chairs and calling each other out their names, so all you know,
but they got some good hair and some good shoes. I like their clothes.
But see, the thing is, if all you know is the chick doing that, but then she does have the nice hair and the nice shoes, then apparently she must be, and these are air quotes, she must be doing something right. And see, people got these misplaced priorities, Rube, and that's the reason why you see this crap going on.
I mean, and you know, I go back to my inundated dislike for BET as a whole. You know, the first thing that BET does, Robert Johnson left. They put somebody else in.
He sold out. Don't say he left.
Okay, sold out. Whatever. I don't care.
Divorced.
He ain't there no more.
Him and his wife. Well, let's break it back down. He and his wife. They, you know.
He sold out.
So they sold him and his wife. They in the relationship. They sold the business. So the business is not of African American descent.
Factually, that is accurate. However, I think there's certain people who have a greater obligation than others.
Yeah, I was about to get into that.
Okay, then I won't steal your thunder. Go ahead.
So the current CEO of BET, or president, or whatever her name is, I don't want to call out her name because I don't know her name, but she comes on the BET Awards and speaks for 5 minutes like we care about what she says. And I understand she got rid of Uncut. Now, it is what it is. But then you get rid of Uncut, then you get rid of all the music, and you bring in garbage shows. And it's just like, at least you had Donnie on Soul, on Video Soul, interviewing people who are worth something, you know, and playing some decent music. And then she puts all this garbage up there. And he said, well, I'm trying to educate the people. No, you're not doing what you should be doing and educate the people. Well, and on top of all that, I can definitely say, if anybody who's ever seen Boondocks, which is a interesting show in itself, Aaron McGruder, the cartoonist creator of Boondocks, has expressed a couple of times how much he hates BET, you know, or his show.
But Rube, BET, I mean, I am 41. I don't rush to watch BET like I did when I was in my 20s, you know, or when I was 18, 19, whenever it got started. Correct. That demographics for you and I to watch probably is going to hurt our eyes and ears now.
But the thing about it
wasn't back in our time.
Exactly. But the problem is we don't watch it anymore. And I think that's the problem because we don't say anything. Because now you have unwatchable TV on BET.
Right.
But
see, here's the thing that you're missing, Ruben, in your setup. And Toyana, you touched on it a minute ago. Deborah Lee is the person that you're thinking of, Ruben.
Thank you.
When Bob Johnson when Bob and his wife, I can't think of what his wife's name is, but when they sold BET, they sold away the right. Right. They sold away the right to control the images that we put out to us. And so you got to remember that there's a large portion of this world that does not want to see minorities prosper. This is the difference between the haves and the have-nots, which
it's a show.
It's the difference between the haves and the have-nots. When you are not in control of your own image, then you have very little say-so as to what gets put on. And so part of me doesn't really blame Deborah Lee. I mean, I know that the people used to picket outside her house every Saturday morning. Like, no exaggeration. So I understand the frustration. I share it. People used to picket outside this woman's house, which I think is going too far. But the point is, she a figurehead, dude. Correct. She is not in control. This is Viacom owned, okay? They churn out what they think that the black people need or want to see, and what's going to get them viewers. And the sad reality is, we feed into it. When it was run by black people, you had Video Soul, you had Teen Summit, you had Uncut, you had shows that portrayed us in a positive light. But when that got taken, over by the conglomerates, then it became MTV for the urban audience. And you got to also remember, talked about the prison complex last week. This whole thing about, perpetuating negative images, they got to do something about the population. And they also got to do something about the 13th Amendment and feed their prisons. And you don't think having an avenue feeding these crazy negative images to the youth day after day after day isn't a vehicle that is used to do that? Come on, man. This is not something that just happened. This is a plan.
Correct.
This is a plan.
I mean, so I guess we really haven't heard from SY and her opinions on this.
Said the trade-off was TV One and Centric. TV One and Centric do a better job than BET do, but the reality is
you got to pay extra for TV One and Centric.
They're not black-owned either.
And I don't even get Oprah on direct television, so I have to pay extra to see her if I wanted to.
That's why.
I don't even watch BET.
Yeah, I mean,
so there's really nothing.
So I don't watch MTV or VH1. Do you watch those?
I don't watch them.
Yeah. What's the last time you watched a music video?
The thing is, we don't watch them, but we're irrelevant because we're all in our 40s, correct? Or soon to be, and so we are not the target audience anyway. Mm-hmm. They don't care if we watching. They want our kids to watch. Yep. But they don't care if we watching, and so that's the key. That's the key, because they know anything that can be marketed to a kid, they know that the parents of the kid is not going to hear the kid bitching at them, so they're going to go ahead and succumb, which is the reason why you see silly commercials for stuff that we know our kid don't want. And what we do, we listen and listen and listen, but we don't want to disappoint our kids, so what we do, we take them to the store and we buy it. That's what we do. And the marketers know this, and that's why they do it, Big Ro.
So, last question about it. What do we do? How do we communicate to the masses? Or what do parents, is it a situation where parents need to be like, nah, you ain't never watching BET, you ain't never watching this, you ain't never watching this? I mean, is it time for parents to use more parental control?
It should have never gone away.
It should have never gone away, but see, the thing is, we can say, what are we going to do about it? And we can, as individuals, have our individual plan, but unless we have a mass of people who buy into an idea, ain't nothing going to change. The reality is, somebody like me, Marcus J., who writes letters to the TV stations and tell them that I don't like their programming, doesn't matter. I've done that. I do that. You know what I'm saying? And unless I can get people to be on board with me, and unless I can get people to look at my Facebook page and see when I'm trying to do something intelligent and jump on board with it as opposed to the nonsense, unless we get people that's going to jump in and be on board, man, I really don't know what we do, but I'll be honest with you.
I think it's right. I know what we should do, but I mean, that takes, arm and a leg and maybe a whole body of somebody. But I think that you just turn off your television. If it's all about ratings, I don't listen to my radio anymore to the point I can't even understand half the stuff that's coming out. So I'd rather buy a CD or listen to satellite radio or something else. So if we control the ratings, we're the consumer. You control what you buy, what you eat, what you wear. You can control what you watch and what you hear.
Big rope.
All right. That's where it is. It's a roundtable for this week. Next week, we'll be back with another session. And we'll sit down, we'll talk some more, see if we got to get some stuff done.
And Steppin Marcus J obviously going way over. It's about 10:15 on 10 on the East Coast. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Don't go nowhere. We're going to close the show with our rants and with our closers. Don't go nowhere. Steppin Marcus J and you, the listeners, stay with us.